Hello again. I'm not entirely sure when being strong and self sufficient, not complaining about misfortune, respecting and cherishing women, not making a fetish of displaying your emotions, being brave, and of course valuing all those qualities in others, stop being admirable and praiseworthy and was transmuted instead into something known as toxic masculinity. Take women, for example. When I was a child at school, everybody knew, from the age of 5, I should think, that boys don't hit girls. As a young man, if a decent man saw a woman being mistreated, he stepped in to protect her, to look after her interests. Men who knocked women about were regarded with absolute contempt 40 or 50 years ago. These are values which men could be said to have absorbed with their mother's milk. Rape was seen as a dreadful thing, but also unmanly. There's a word you don't often hear these days. Forcing oneself upon a woman was something which no self-respecting man would have even think of. All this may well be sexist, but I'm not in the least ashamed of saying that I still hold by those principles. Again, like most people of my age, I grew up with the awareness that my father, uncles, and grandfathers had all fought in the two world wars. All my male relatives over a certain age had been in the army. I grew up thinking that to show fearlessness was a good thing and something which I should try and aspire to myself. I also knew that it was not manly to complain about one's problems or say that you had been badly treated. This was not at all what men did. The ideal person to imitate was Lord Melbourne, who, after he had been dismissed from office in the 1830s, wrote to a friend saying, "I have always thought complaints of ill usage contemptible, whether from a seduced, disappointed girl or a turned-out Prime Minister." There now, that's how a real man deals with reverses. As for showing one's feelings, well, what can I say? My own personal rule is a simple one. A man may cry upon the birth of his child or the death of a close family member, which is to say mother, father, wife or child. I last shed tears when my mother died in 1994 and, well, unless, which God forbid, my wife or daughter predeceased me, I never expect to cry again in the whole course of my life. I certainly won't start blubbing if a football team loses or if I see a sad film at the pictures. I don't know that I was ever explicitly taught how men behave or what values they should ideally adhere to, but I do know that the kind of things I mentioned above were all but universal 50 or 60 years ago. Somewhere down the line, behaving in such ways has come to be seen as unhealthy or even downright dangerous. Unless they showed their feelings more and stopped taking care of women, then men risked either having a nervous breakdown, committing suicide, or turning into rapists or serial killers. Traditional masculinity is now seen as a problem which can only be remedied by getting men to be softer and more feminine. It is, alas, too late, I fear, for me to start sobbing when I watch Love Story or failing to offer to help a woman struggling with a heavy suitcase. Something, incidentally, which my daughter ticked me off for doing a while ago when we were out together. "Would you have done that for a man?" she asked me angrily. Well, no. Do viewers know why behaving in this way has come to be branded as toxic? Not that it will make any difference to me, I might add. I shall continue seeing it as my job to watch out for women and offer help when they need it. Just because a lot of soft left-wingers say that I should start behaving more like a woman myself, I will not, I fear, be taking their advice anytime soon.